Well, I think the U.S. China contest of the century is very clearly in the top of leaders in the Trump administration. And they understand very clearly that America must make America great again. And a lot of the tariffs is all about really shoring up American manufacturing. I think, if I may put it very simply, I see the contest of the century as between financial engineers versus applied engineers. The Americans have been doing a lot of financial engineering since 1980. And in the last 20, 30 years, financial assets have grown fantastically. Debt has grown tremendously. And the manufacturing base has been offshore, a lot of it to China. And so I think, the recent events in Ukraine and Gaza have shown that technologically the Chinese are beginning to catch up. Not quite there yet, but they're coming up fast. And so I think America, really needs to onshore their manufacturing, which is...
Do you think tariffs can actually do that, though?
Well, it will take time. And I think the contest is in technology. I think everybody understands that technology is dual-edged. I mean, it can be used for, civil use and military use. So the technology will improve productivity. And so instead of concentrating military production in a few very large companies, using startups, using warp speed innovation, like in the COVID, America hopes to speed up their high-tech production.
Andrew, let me ask you, you've been on the record saying that, look, this whole U.S.-China competition, if not confrontation, is really not very useful or constructive, right? But be that as it may, it's happening, right? Much as both sides would prefer to be decoupled from each other, it's simply not possible because they're just so interconnected, especially through supply chains, right? What do you think a potential most likely outcome could be then? Maybe not a 100% split or decoupling, two spheres, right, U.S. and China, but more, okay, there's going to be a split where high technology, AI, advanced semiconductors are concerned, quantum computing. That seems to be the case already, but potential cooperation in other areas, softer, less contentious areas like, let's say, climate change.
I think, by being confrontational, we are missing the key element, which is cooperation. Only through cooperation can we get out of our existential threats. And there are two existential threats, as you know. The first one is climate change. And the second one is nuclear, mutually assured destruction. And therefore, I think there should be more areas of cooperation. Now, I do understand people are very upset, and feel threatened. And the biggest problem with national security is really insecurity. Everybody's insecure, right?
So talking about national security, especially securing borders, which is something which is very important to the U.S., do you think the next step is going to be cooperation and maybe even a deal on fentanyl precursors?
Well, I think China, as you know, is not producing fentanyl. It really is just producing the chemical components that is exported everywhere in the world. But some illegal elements, put it this way, they make the fentanyl issue. But
yes,
that needs to be resolved, and I'm sure there will be discussion on this. So the key question is that on areas of dispute, let's get to some understanding. It may not be a full settlement, but it will be a truce, right? But on areas where you can cooperate, let's cooperate.